So most of you that follow me on YouTube and regarding 3D printing might have noticed that I recently took down a video about 2 to 3 days ago. That video was related to 3D printing safety, specifically 3D printing fires. Um, just like in that video, I'm remaking this one with the same topic in mind, with a few more details and a few information from our 3D printing community of what people have ran into and the issues that they have faced. Now, just like the last video, um, I will let you know I believe this is probably going to be the most important video that I make throughout my 3D printing tutorials or whatever it might be. So the reason I took down my past video is because a few of my viewers, actually two of my viewers, had contacted me once I'd posted the video, and they didn't agree with the product I was using to safeguard myself against 3D printing fires. And their words were that they believed that it wasn't the best option out there. And for me to show that in my video and recommend it or give my opinion on it, I was just maybe misleading a few people. And maybe if they don't use it right, it would put them in harm's way, I guess. I really don't know. But to avoid doing that, and I don't want anybody to make rash decisions, or I don't want anybody to, use a product because I'm using it and based on that it not work. I took that video off and I took that particular product off as well. I am going to consult my local fire department and explain, what I'm using the product for, and if they agree that it is a safe option, then I will show you guys in a future video. But as of right now, we are going to just leave that topic alone until I get a response from them, which should be as early as the next day or two. So basically what we're going to do in this video is I'm going to show you some testimony from our own people, users that are actually in our community, and what they've posted pictures wise. And also I'm going to go over what are some of the causes of maybe electrical fires, and what are some ways that we can either prevent it or stop it from spreading bigger than it is. But before I start, I know that some people are going to give me a little bit of shit if you just want to be straightforward, because with this video they think I'm bringing a negative vibe to the 3D printing community. Guys, that is not my intention at all. I love everything about 3D printing. I'm just trying to make people aware that there are hazards. Okay, not everybody can afford a $2,000-3,000 printer with a safeguard, or do web monitoring, or do monitoring 24 hours a day. It's just not possible. Most of us leave our printers running overnight while we're sleeping with our families in our house. So this hits home for me because, I mean, I have a beautiful wife, two beautiful kids, and the whole purpose of this video for me was to make sure that they are safe when I'm not at home and my printer is running. Okay, so that's all I'm trying to do here, is just do a little bit of safe practice. Nothing more than that. No, there's no negativity here from my side, and I apologize in advance if I offend anybody. Now, let me start off by saying the chances of an electrical fire with your 3D printer is very small and minimal. Okay, it's not something that's very common, but it does happen with 3D printers out there. Printers do catch on fire because of electrical wiring or whatever it might be. Um, Let me show you some of the videos or pictures that within the last 3 days that I found on our 3D printing forum. Here's one where it looks like something is burnt out. Here's another where it's melted some of the plastic. Here's another. If you pay close attention to the extruder here, you'll see that there's a black ooze on the side, and that is actually burnt filament that's overflowing. He needs to tighten that down so it doesn't leak. The most recent, I'm pretty sure most of you have seen this on Facebook, is the gentleman that almost burnt his house down. There was a section of his house that was actually burnt out. Here is another one where, so you can see things like this do happen. So let's go over some of the causes, so we can identify what to look for. But let me start off by saying not all printers are certified by third parties. Okay, for example, not everything is UL certified, but there are things out there that are UL certified, like your refrigerator, microwave, things like that, that also have a chance of catching fire. But the main difference is most of us buy kits and we assemble it ourselves. Your refrigerator, microwave does not come unassembled, and they don't give you directions to put it together. So that's one of the main differences. Also, we try to upgrade to make the printer better, to make it safer, but sometimes there might be that one little thing that we missed. What about if you use the wrong materials to build things such as an enclosure? Also, with printers, guys, you need to do maintenance on it. Every 50 prints or so, in my opinion, or even 100, or hours, 100 hours maybe. Just go through your printer, make sure all the nuts and bolts are tight, all the wires are stable, they're not touching each other, nothing's loose. Just clean up any debris, dust, dirt, whatever you might see. Just that's just good practice. What if you bought your printer and you forgot to switch the voltage from 210 to 110? What if the power supply you're using is not sufficient or that is not regulated right? Um, Instead of a surge protector, you're using a just a power strip, or it could just be due to user error. Like I said, we just like to modify things and make it better, but in reality, it might not be that great of an idea. Or what if the printer itself came with a manufacturer defect, but it did not show on the first couple of prints? And that one time you leave to go to work and you come back and you see a disaster. So just think about these things. These are things that can cause little stuff like that. I know nobody likes to talk about it because it is on the negative side, but you know what? We need to be made aware of it. So what are some of the things that we can do to help avoid these things? The number one thing that people recommend is upgrade your firmware. Now, guys, I'm not too familiar with how to do that, so if there's anybody out there that can help me out with that, that would be great. A second thing you would want to do is maybe get a smoke detector. Also, build an enclosure, contain it, so keep it from spreading. Use a surge protector instead of a power strip. Guys, there's a huge difference. There's a guy that is actually in the process of creating something called a smoke signal. So basically what it is, it connects to the outlet, from the outlet into a plug to your printer, and from your printer it goes into a sensor which senses smoke and things like that. Also, what you can do is you can monitor it. Nowadays, I mean, you can get a $2 app, $3 app on your phone with a Wi-Fi camera mounted there, so you can monitor it from work. The number one thing would be that most people talk about is something called an automatic fire extinguisher. Basically, if you build an enclosure, cut a circle out at the top, put the fire extinguisher on top. If there ever is a fire, it pops a little red tab, and presto, all the CO2 comes down, putting the fire out, whatever it might be. So there you have it, guys. These are some of the causes and some of the ways you can prevent or minimize the damage that can be done. And again, before I let you guys go, I just want to say that I understand that this is something people don't want to talk about, but it is something that we need to get out there. So if you can just help me get this video out to as many people as possible, just so they know that something like this is out there. Because when I was new, this thing didn't even cross my mind. So if we can just help the community, just raise awareness, that would be great. So with that said, I'll leave you with a final thought. Most of us out there drive nowadays. We all have insurance. Nobody ever gets into their car in the morning expecting the worst. I've been driving for more than 20 years and I've only had one incident. But I was happy I had insurance. So if you're 3D printing and you know there's a hazard out there that may never happen, but there's a minimal chance it could, why wouldn't you want some kind of insurance to prevent that from happening? So just think about that. And thank you guys for watching. And I'm sorry that this is kind of like a downer type video, but I hope you guys enjoyed it and you learned something from it. And like always guys, good luck and happy printing. Enjoy.